On his very first day, RFK Jr. got to work at gutting staff at the Centers for Disease Control. Great. So, members of the Epidemic Intelligence Service, EIS, were told on Friday that they were among nearly 1,300 layoffs at the CDC and prevention, according to reports in Stat News and CBS News. Why is this bad? Well, it just happens to be the group that investigates disease outbreaks in the US as well as overseas, while also helping state departments in determining the origin of foodborne illnesses, like listeria, for example. So, yeah, deregulating, going and deregulating the USDA along with getting rid of the people who help the state departments in determining the origins of these illnesses, where they came from, probably not a good thing. Okay. Going to lead to a lot of people getting sick, possibly dying. Now, the program's emphasis in the field work has earned members the nickname of the disease detectives. So we're getting rid of the detectives now for disease. EIS members were also among the first responders dispatched to investigate the post 9/11 anthrax attacks that targeted U.S. politicians and the media. I hope nobody gets any ideas. Okay. Now, the EIS program was set up back in 1951 to address concerns about biological warfare during the Korean War, and today operates as a 2-year postdoctoral training program for epidemiologists who want some hands-on experience. So, while that pipeline is gone, Stat News reported that the entire incoming class of EIS members, which typically numbers about 60 to 80 people, were told their positions had been canceled. Great. Just great. I'm sure nothing bad will happen if we fired the disease detectives. Oh boy. I mean, it's not like we haven't just come off a pandemic and might be headed up into a new one, right? Uh, right? Oh. Now, Michael Osterholm, director of the University of Minnesota's Center for Infectious Disease Research and Policy, told the outlet, quote, "This will destroy the EIS, which is one of the absolute crown jewels of global public health. The CDC and the NIH plan to terminate the 5,000 employees who were hired in the last 2 years because they're probationary employees, and of course, has nothing to do with performance or anything, just they're new. That's it. They're new. But no, we got to get rid of them to marginally cut tiny little bits of cost. So, but really, we're just dismantling government. We're gonna make things super unsafe, but at least corporations, companies won't have to deal with regulations, so they can do whatever the hell they want, and won't have to deal with any kind of punishments if they kill people, if their products kill people, or if there's a pandemic. So wonderful, great. Now, RFK Jr. did go on Fox News, and he said, "Hey, don't worry. Okay, I'm not going to go fire everybody. I got a list of people that I'm going to fire. But if you worked on good science, you'll be okay. You got nothing to worry about, right? If you care about public health," he said, "you've got nothing to worry about. If you're in there working for the pharmaceutical industry, well, then I'd say you should move out and work for the pharmaceutical industry." Now, wait. So if you're working on the good science, then you're okay. You don't have to worry about your job. Well, based on these cuts, that appears to be a lie, because people at EIS were working on good science. Okay. What is good about getting rid of the disease detectives? Nothing. But look, this guy's a crank. Okay. RFK Jr. is a crank. And I'm not saying that I disagree that big pharma has too much influence on our politicians, right? They do through their donations, right? But I don't agree that they're using vaccines to make people sick for a profit. No, no, not to mention any other supposedly nefarious, things conspiracy theorists have come up with. No, the problem with pharmaceutical companies, big pharma, is that their business practice is to gatekeep life-saving drugs, okay, away from the people, and then while overcharging government, because politicians have prevented government from being able to negotiate with them, thanks to those same donations to these politicians, right? That's the real problem. The problem with pharma is it's never been the science. Okay. The real problem always has to do with the profit motive. You got to get the profit motive out of healthcare. That's it. That's the big issue. Unfortunately, the right wing takes what could be a real issue, right? Or what is a real issue with real solutions, okay, that they could implement, and instead go, no, me no like science. Me no believe in germ theory. Me going to drink raw milk. Really? Have you ever seen a cow? You ever been near a cow? I worked at a dairy farm when I was younger. Okay, cows are dirty. I don't hate cows. I love beef. I like cows, but like they're dirty. They're covered in poop. Lots and lots of cow poop. Okay. I remember I used to clean out the stalls, right? And I used to clean out the feed. And there was a literal conveyor belt that goes by, and cows just just the random shit everywhere. Okay, it sprays everywhere. You're gonna drink milk from those cows that have laid in their own shit from those, okay, and covered their udders all over with crap. You want to drink raw milk from that? Really? All pasteurization does is just heat up the milk and destroy the germs from all the poop. You want to drink it raw? Oof. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But look, if you don't believe in germ theory, okay, that's your personal thing, right? But when it comes to harming other people by infecting them with infectious diseases, that's where I draw the line. Okay, you're hurting other people. Okay, and when you do that, you're part of a public health crisis. Okay, unfortunately, we now have a public health crisis as the head of our nation's health department. Okay, I mean, along with doing this, he's now looking into the BS claims that SSRIs create school shootings instead of looking at the obvious problem with easy access to weaponry. He's also legitimized debunked claims that vaccines cause autism, which is ridiculous. It's not only damaging to vaccines, to vaccination, okay, which prevents these old-timey diseases from coming back and killing people, but it's also damaging to those who have autism. Okay, this is not a condition to be feared or blamed on vaccines. It's a developmental disability, and it requires understanding, resources, and support, none of which will be given under this administration. And by the way, we still have a long way to go before we give the proper resources and support to people dealing with autism. I mean, the healthcare system and the workforce haven't really, been providing support in an adequate way. They've just started to, but now all of that's going backwards. Okay. And that's among the other issues here, right? I got no problem taking on ultra processed foods. That's great. Yeah, let's get a lot of the sugars out of the food, right? Yes, let's not subsidize the hell out of high fructose corn syrup. Okay. Yes, let's get healthier foods, right? I remember when Michelle Obama wanted to ensure healthier lunches for children, right? And I also remember when the right wing cried about that for years. Okay. Oh, how dare you to try to help go healthier lunches for kids?
Obama.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the result here. All right. Look, at the end of the day, we are in for so much trouble over the next 4 years as a result of this. I mean, Dr. Ann Shushat, a former CDC official, told CBS News, quote, "The country is less safe. These are the deployable assets critical for investigating new threats from anthrax to Zika." So now the question here is, there's negligible savings, obviously, right? So Doge claims to be saving taxpayers, oh, so much money, oh my God. It's a fraction, tiny, tiny bits, right? No, the real issue is you're destroying the administrative state. That's it. Just because you hate government, okay? But the question, though, is why wouldn't we want to know about these threats? Okay? Well, do you remember during the pandemic when Trump wanted to stop counting how many new cases of, coronavirus people were getting because it made him look bad? Well, this is part of that, okay? Let's just stop counting new cases of anything. Because when it gets reported, it makes me look bad. I mean, if we just ignore the viruses, we ignore the tuberculosis outbreak in Kansas and other states, if we ignore the large measles outbreak in Texas or the bird flu, if we just ignore all that, then it doesn't exist. And it doesn't make us look bad. But it's not my problem. I can't be blamed for it. That's what we're doing right now. And that is just extremely irresponsible and downright deadly. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.